What's up, gang, and welcome back to another edition of Road Trippin' with the Rudes.
Hi, guys. And if this is your first time tuning into the Rudes Real Review, thank you so much. Please be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and like this video. We'll have more heat coming your way. If you've been riding with us all along, thank you. Please comment down below so we know that you're here. We love interacting with everyone. The Wanda Vision energy was great, and I'm sure it'll be the same for Falcon and Winter Soldier.
As a matter of fact, Marvel, that's how you come out in the first episode. That's how you come out.
Now that's how you supposed to shoot. From now on, that's how you shoot.
Before we get started, spoiler alert, number one. And number two, we do not talk during the filming and number two, we do not talk while we're watching the show or the movie. Hence you not seeing the director's cut video from us yet because I haven't had 4 hours to watch it without Corey. Anyway, you are what? What's your feelings about this?
You already know. That's how you come out, bro. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
When you come out with episode 1, that's how you come out.
Let me just say this. Well played, MCU. The Marvel Cinematic Universe always does the unthinkable, right? They always get you to care for lesser known comic characters. So I had zero interest in Falcon. Little interest in Winter Soldier. No, I'll be honest. I had a little interest in Winter Soldier because of the in-scene credit from Black Panther. So there is still that white wolf, that never got to play out kind of thing. So there's still that connection there. Yeah, but really and truly, I wasn't checking for Falcon.
Don't rush it, though. The white wolf might still have a little play.
Well, I don't know. I will say, the first scene starts, and we're going to go all through this, and we're going to cover theories and whatnot. Be sure to chime in. But the first scene almost lost me because he was ironing. And if you've been watching us, you know I don't iron. But I thought it was great because if you think about it, all of our military family and friends, that's their style.
That's what
like,
they do.
Where's your iron? Where's your ironing board? I'm like, wait a minute. It was in the dryer last week. That means it's wrinkle free.
Yeah.
So I thought it was very, the first episode gave some depth to each one of their characters.
Yeah. Which I like.
It was so crazy. So you had the first scene of Falcon ironing his jacket, and then he looks at the Captain American shield. Mm-hmm. And then we hear that scene. We hear the, like he's looking at it, and then we hear the scene from the end game where him and a well-traveled time travel Cap are having the discussion, and Cap is telling him the shield is meant for him. Mm-hmm. And this is where Falcon goes into kind of his imposter syndrome, right? He's like, why me? I'm not worthy. Right?
Yeah.
I hope that throughout the show, he continues to show us that he is hella worthy. Mm-hmm. Okay?
And I think that's where it's going to go.
It
looks like it. And then after that, we get him what?
So after that, he, irons his suit jacket, right? So we see him ironing his suit jacket, but then we see him get called out on a military mission.
Yep. So he's back in the Air Force. He re-enlisted. Which I'll get back into that later.
Right?
Bruh.
So then they tell him there's forces on the ground, and they're in somewhere in Russia, right? Or
no. They are in
Libya.
Tunisia? No, they're on the border of Libya.
Yeah, they're on the border of Libya and Tunisia. You're right. And one of the commanding officers says, "Hey, they have LAF on the ground with intel. Your contact is Lieutenant Torres."
Yep.
Which Lieutenant Torres absolutely giving me Darcy vibes.
Okay.
And guys, bear with me. I'm not trying to compare the two shows, but I'm seeing qualities that I really appreciated in WandaVision here. And I'm so glad to get the Endgame syndrome monkey off our back.
I'll take it to the next level. Not Darcy, it's more Monica. And I'll explain why. In the comic book, Lieutenant Torres actually gets like kidnapped, and they do like some experiments on him, and he becomes half man, half Falcon. So he becomes the Falcon, which I think this, and I'm not going to start getting into theories because WandaVision blew all theories out the water.
Guys, listen, I think Corey just needs to set up a Clubhouse every week for that. If you're not following us already on Clubhouse, please do so at Real Trippin' with the Rudes.
No, actually, June got a Clubhouse for that, for the pop culture. So,
oh, great. So check out Afros and Pixie Dust if you are on Clubhouse. If you are a mom like me or have to clean on Saturday mornings, be sure to check out Corey's Mix on Clubhouse.
That's right. But listen, it goes to where he becomes Falcon's little sidekick, and Falcon actually becomes Captain America. So I'm thinking maybe at the end of this,
we'll see.
He'll end up being Captain America, and then Torres might take a little turn and become his little sidekick.
I'll tell you this. I love the fact that Corey has the comic book knowledge. Coming from MCU, this is Lieutenant Torres's debut, and he did not disappoint. We'll go to the scene, and then we'll touch back on Torres, but he's definitely one to watch. He's chasing someone who has a pilot, right?
Yep. So that's
and they're speaking in French.
Yeah. So who he's chasing is what's his name? Batroc. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Batroc, which he was in the Winter Soldier. If you remember the scene when Captain America and Black Widow go to that ship, he's trying to steal the ship, and him and Captain America fights right there.
No, and the only reason why I can't remember, guys, is because as soon as he said ROC, I started thinking The Rock's in the building, and my brain went,
yeah, that's what
squirrel.
I call it, Batroc.
Squirrel. So he has been in the MCU.
He was
before.
in the Captain America Winter Soldier movie. He was actually a former UFC fighter. But yeah, he fought Captain America. So he's up to his heisting.
I will say this. Okay, so
he was trying to hijack a ship. But in the comic books, he was a French, like almost like CIA agent.
Got it. Okay.
But then he became like an assassin.
So what do they call it in Europe? What are they called? M16?
No, MI6, but that's
MI6.
That's Europe. That's British.
British. Okay. So now,
but he was the French version of that.
So comment down below if you know what the French CIA is. What I thought was amazing was I got to see, and guys, don't come for me in the comments because you've got to think, when I would have been paying attention to Falcon, it was the debut of Black Panther. So Falcon didn't get any shine in my mind when I'm going back to the MCU. So I didn't know about
he was in Age of Ultron. He was in all of that.
Yeah, but the debut of Black Panther was in Winter Soldier. And
no, it wasn't.
What was it? Age of Ultron? Civil War. Okay.
Winter Soldier was first.
So the debut of Black Panther was in Civil War, and I think that's like some of the best fight scenes I remember. And I don't remember Falcon too much. I think he got plucked away by Ant-Man or something. That's all I remember.
You tripping, because that was actually Civil War was when Falcon started getting shine.
I was thrilled to see him with his top of the line Stark Tech and the homie Red Wing.
Yeah.
Like Red Wing is like a character within itself.
And in the comic book, it actually is. It's a real bird that he can communicate with telepathically. If it talks,
giving me Friday vibes, I'm out.
Oh, yeah.
I'm out. Because it was just... Now, the one thing I will say is that in trying to like pull in our attention, and this is not for the kiddos if you're sensitive to profanity, but to get our attention, which kudos to Marvel and Disney Plus for knowing that adults want to adult sometimes. He says to Red Wing, get them off our asses. Now, come on now you're reaching. I want to hear him say, hey, launch missile attack or something. But anyway, Because
Yeah.
I'm like,
Nah,
can
I get
Red
it.
Wing understand that? But that scene was explosive.
Yeah, that was
The
a good scene.
action was there. We don't want to give it all away, but he ends up retrieving the asset.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
At that time, we get to see more of him in Lieutenant Torres, right?
Yep.
Because they're sitting at a table kind of rehashing things. And
Mm-hmm.
Lieutenant Torres is young. He's a millennial. And I
Yeah.
love it, right? So he's looking, at first I thought he was looking for Pokemon, because I don't even know. Is that still a thing? Let me know. But there's this handprint that I guess is cryptically around places that you find via social media. And that is for the Flag Smashers. It's giving me QAnon vibes.
So, Flag Smashers in the comic book, well, it's a single entity in the comic book, the Flag Smasher. But basically what happens is they want a one world country.
Mm-hmm.
So, no borders is their thing. They don't want any borders. And it looks like they're taking advantage of the situation where like the heroes are in dismay,
Heroes are
the
gone.
snap.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So now they're like, and I don't know, but he kind of seems like he has some super serum or something.
Something going on.
Yeah.
So, okay, so here's the thing. And, God, Marvel always does this. So huge thank you to Marvel and to Disney Plus, because in my mind, they watch us. And when I say Marvel, you guys are Marvel. So what I appreciate is that they're always on time. There is a warning before the start of the movie, because there is a scene where there is violence against, an Asian American, and they do the disclaimer about that, right?
Yeah.
So the fact that they're sensitive about that, the fact that the Flag Smashers sound a lot like QAnon, and they did not attack them. He said, I mean, it really does, right? But he said they're looking for unification, so it's easy to recruit. So that empathy is there.
Mhm.
I might not agree with you, and I don't have to agree with you, but I'm going to understand that your thought process is similar to mine, meaning you want to be happy, you want to be healthy.
And they're taking advantage of the internet.
Yes.
And the youth. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like,
absolutely.
Okay.
So they talk about those conspiracy theories. Then he's like, he's been working with the Air Force for 6 months, is what Falcon lets us know.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, I've got to go back to DC.
Well, and Torres is talking about, well, where's Captain America at? He's back on his conspiracy on the internet stuff, and was like, they said that he's on the moon. Did you fly him to the moon or something? Which in the comic books, Falcon and Winter Soldier, they do fake Captain America's death to let him go, be peaceful somewhere else.
One time with Tupac.
Yeah, but
fly me to the moon.
In this series, it seems as though he is alive. They didn't fake his death or anything. So he is alive. We just don't know where he's at.
He's tired. Okay? His body's weary. You can't keep expecting him to keep saving us. Let him get a break. So I first of all, I think Falcon is very comedic. I love the dynamic between he and Lieutenant Torres. Mm-hmm. He is very much a soldier. He follows his direction. And so you see him go back to DC, at which point you might be looking at our title and you might be looking and saying, isn't this Falcon and Winter Soldier? Let the beat build, ladies and gentlemen. So he is there at a ceremony, which, Marvel, we get a little leery when there are ceremonies. You guys drop crazy truth bombs, such as I Am Iron Man, such as the death of T'Chaka. There are scary moments. So you have him, and they're like, oh, thank you so much for returning this. And, they put it in the glass. And while Falcon is speaking, in the audience, you see War Machine. And can I just say, I'm glad War Machine's in here. No, seriously.
Go ahead.
Guys, you couldn't pay me to care about War Machine either. And I knew that he was Iron Man's, best friend. But I really like the possibility of War Machine being kind of the Jiminy Cricket to Falcon. Because War Machine's hearing him speak and, this is where it belongs.
They're both military.
But War Machine's like, I know he gave it to you.
Right.
Right? But I'm going to stand here. I'm going to sit here and play dumb, but I know he gave it to you.
Which, if you go back and look at the video, when he's standing in front of all the Captain America paraphernalia, Captain America in that one poster pointing right at him and saying, I want you.
Yes. Yeah. So then he and War Machine walk off, and they're walking through, and you see the Winter Soldier stuff, you see the Captain America stuff, and War Machine's like, cut the pleasantries. You know what you have to do. Mm-hmm. It's supposed to be you. Mm-hmm. And Falcon makes an excuse. Think about how many times in life you were called to something and you were like,
thought
no.
You weren't ready. Yeah.
Right? Corey always says if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. But no, a lot of times you talk yourself out of it, right? So you have that scene, which I thought was very touching, right?
Okay.
I'm here for it. And War Machine reminds him, like, the world is broken. Mm-hmm. Everyone is looking for someone to fix it.
Right. Post-snap chaos, basically, is what I'm getting.
Yes. But, here's the thing. Why are we always looking for somebody else? I thought that statement resonated with me because why not you? But anyway.
And what's the name? And the speaking of that, like we don't know what position this government official is in, but he shook, Falcon's hand and was like, thank you for your contribution and all that stuff. That was with Rhodey. Mm-hmm. So we got to figure out what he's about because
Rhodey knows he's trash.
Yeah,
Rhodey knows.
Looking like it.
Rhodey knows he is the Sharon Osbourne to their show. I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna say it. God. Put it out there because Rhodey's like, let me pull him aside because I know this guy's trash. He's not. Yeah, I'm questioning his ethics. Mm-hmm. Once we get further down to the episode.
Yeah.
So I'm going to talk to you, the one that is really, truly the chosen one. But then we get to a scene, and it goes like 0 to 100 real quick. Mm-hmm. We've got Winter Soldier back. He's like choking people out, Hail Hydra, and you're like,
yeah.
It was so real. I didn't even think of it as being a flashback. I just thought, what?
Yeah.
I'm looking for Hayward at this point because he likes to manipulate stuff. I don't know what's going on at this point. It's a dream, right? And Bucky wakes up, breathing heavy, and basically the sins of his past. But within that scene, he takes out people, chokes them out, and there is an innocent bystander that's just trying to get the key in the door. Guys, that's like the story. That's like probably like a big nightmare of mine. Like those dreams where you like go to scream and you can't scream. That's me. Like if I'm being chased. Full disclaimer though, I grew up on Elm Street, so life was hard as far as horror movies. If I'm being chased, can I get the key in the door? My man could not get the key in the door. He said, I didn't see anything. Clearly, he wasn't from New York because, see, we would have walked away and not blinked an eye. But he was trying to get, in to a room. Mm-hmm. At which point, we see Bucky shoot, but we don't see the person. Okay?
No, he definitely shoots him.
He shoots him, but we don't see the person. So I appreciate that. You don't see that, right?
PG.
Yeah. Then he's on a chair with the therapist. Now, was the therapist in the MCU before? Because I know her from other stuff.
I've never seen her before, but I know her from other stuff as well.
Okay.
I could. You know what? MCU's getting so damn big. I don't know. I don't know if I've seen an actor or actress before or not. Think about it. You're going all the way back to 2008. They could.
I know.
You know what I mean? I don't know. But I haven't recognized her.
So she's like, I know when you're lying. You had another dream. And he's like, basically kind of not wanting to talk about it. And she's, like, do you have any friends? First of all, it's a pandemic. Don't ask about friends. And then she did the ultimate and grabbed his phone.
Yeah.
Guys, this one was sensitive for me. She was like, you haven't returned Sam's call, which is Falcon. You haven't returned his call. The only person you interacted with this week was me. So, that's me. And it's not even on purpose. Like, there are a lot of text messages in my phone right now. And it's not, guys, I promise you it's not on purpose. So I knew that he felt personally attacked, but then he has a notebook.
It's really not on purpose either, because I fall victim to that too. I can't text her. I gotta just call her because she won't see it.
And listen,
That's
if you
a
call
fact.
me, sometimes I won't answer either. And it's not on purpose.
Yeah.
Okay? But anyway, he has a notebook. And she says, listen, if you're, basically, he's on a redemption tour. If you're trying to right your wrongs, you've got to be honest. You've got to communicate. And he has a list of names. What did that make you think of?
At first, when I initially seen it, I'm thinking those are names that he had to hit. Like, those were hits. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
I was thinking, no, that was an old book from... And it kind of is, but I was thinking more of he's going to kill these people versus I think he's trying to right his wrongs.
Okay, guys, this is what I thought of immediately. And let me know if you remember this. The show aired on NBC. My Name is Earl. Do you remember that show?
Yeah, never watched it.
But basically, like, I think it was that he lived a life as a not so great person. He hit the lottery or something, or an inheritance or something. Comment down below if you remember. And so he had a list of names, and each episode was him righting a wrong. And it was a great concept. So
yeah,
I was
so maybe that is
so thrilled to see that.
Yeah.
The two things that I thought of for the Loki series, which is coming up in June, was... Is it going to be a quantum leap with a mix of My Name is Earl, meaning is he correcting his wrongs? So to see it incorporated in this with Winter Soldier, I'm happy. I'm thrilled. Right? So he's got his list. Now, he knows Bucky, the therapist reminds him, she's like, listen, and we've all been there. You got to grow up. You're 100 years old at this point. When are you going to grow up?
Yeah.
Fun fact, they say males don't completely mature until their 40s. She's like, listen, you got to do this. And
was
then
shots
he
fired,
says,
but okay.
then he says, I've been in battle for 90 plus years. I only had a little break when I was in Wakanda. And when he said Wakanda, I thought of Winter Soldier. And then him coming out in the end scene credit as the White Wolf, and my heart fluttered. They know how to give the audience what they want. And, you know, during the pandemic, I know so many of us just want a place to just relax and release. So I felt that deep in my soul. All right.
But then look, you see him out on the street.
Yes.
In the alleyway.
Well, actually, no. It goes back to Bucky. It goes back to Sam Falcon on the road in Delacruz. And I'm sorry, guys from Louisiana, if I'm saying that wrong, but I feel like the X is silent, right?
Yeah.
In French. Louisiana. And we see Sarah, who is Sam's sister, and his nephews.
Yep.
Because Sam was snapped, so they were not. And they have a family boat, and Sam's talking to his sister. Very, very much so like the connection that we made with Hawkeye when we saw his family snapped.
Okay.
That emotional connection with Hawkeye is lasting now. As I see Sam come back, he's military, and he's connecting with his sister. Their parents are gone. I immediately thought of my relationship with my brother and I. So I think it's just well played. The writing is phenomenal.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, then we get to Bucky in these streets.
Yeah. Okay, so then he breaks up them arguing in the alleyway about the trash can. What did that remind you of anything?
The breakup in the alleyway of the trash can.
It's a little Easter egg for
Captain
the
America?
first Captain America.
The first Captain America.
When they were in the alleyway and he came and beat the guy up with the trash cans.
Brilliant. Yes. Yes, it did give me that vibe. So that was great. And then he's going to take his buddy out to lunch.
Yeah.
It doesn't show us how they know each other. But the buddy's clearly older, so I was like, is this somebody that Bucky knew back
when he
in
was
the
young?
day?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
When he was young?
Because they're looking at the paper and he says somebody just died that was 90 or something.
Yeah,
like
he
that.
was like, everybody's dying.
He was like, oh, so
they're
young.
not even right. So young. Yeah. I thought that was so funny. And it was just a great tender side to him. You know?
It shows that he's actually doing the work.
Yes.
Going to therapy.
Yes.
And he's actually putting what he's learning in therapy
and trying to right his wrongs.
Yeah.
Now, in talking to his friend hits him with the alley-oop. Sets him up on a date.
Oh, yeah.
Which is great, right? Friends are always smooth with that. But he said, you know, maybe he can take you out for bingo. Pinochle.
Yeah, pinochle.
I don't even know what pinochle is, guys.
It's like spades, but watered down.
It sounds like a fancy brittle. Pinochle sounds like it's like pecan brittle as opposed to
spades, pinochle, bridge. They all
it's
in the
cards.
same family.
See, I would have never known. But I thought it was great. And then
I feel like Fred Sanford always played pinochle. But that's neither here nor there. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, guys, I really don't know. I thought it was great, and then his friend, you know, basically says, "I know the government says that my son was on a contract job, and my son was at the wrong place at the wrong time, but they haven't told me anything." And that unknown sits and lingers, and then fast forward, Bucky goes on a date with the woman. She got off at 10.
He was working abroad. You said contract job, but I don't want you to think we're talking about Falcon and Winter Soldier. So a contract job to me means you're going to kill somebody. He was just working abroad.
Right. He was a contractor working abroad, and he died, and the government didn't give his father.
No, I just wanted to
closure.
make that clear because you know we're talking espionage. And
you're right. You're right. So they're on the date, and the woman, who's gorgeous by the way, says, you know, have you dated anyone since half the world came back? Since half the fishes came back to the sea. So she's funny too. I love the zingers in this one. There's like some good punchlines
your
there.
type of corniness.
Yes. And she asks Bucky his age, and he says 106. So he's not lying about his age. And
which she probably thinks he is anyway.
I think they go back to Sam, right?
Yeah, shrimping business is doing real bad. You know,
right.
the
I love the fact that the boys call him Uncle Sam. I mean, I know that's his name, but I thought that was funny.
Cracked up. It was like Uncle Sam.
So the sister is like over it. She's been in the trenches. She's like, listen, I know that you've been saving the world, and I appreciate that, but I need to sell this boat. And he's like, this is our family history. She's like, listen, we can't do it. And very optimistic. He's like, hey, we'll go to the bank. We'll get a loan. And to show that they are in touch, obviously, Sam and his sister Sarah are black. So he goes, those white people aren't giving us a loan. Like, period.
No, he said, I know how to talk to the white people, the white folks. Or
Oh,
something.
I know how to talk to the white folks. Yeah. Right? So he gets there. The guy's like, oh, you look familiar. He realizes that he's Falcon. Goes all fandom on him. Right?
But people though, he was acting like he was familiar from sports, which is what every black person that looks kind of athletic or bigger than average or anything, that's not the first thing someone assumes.
Ladies and gentlemen,
that's not black.
Ladies and gentlemen, black men 6 feet and over are always associated with sports.
Yes.
Okay?
Big
It's
facts.
crazy. So, and you know, he tells him, no, I'm Falcon. He's like, oh my God, can I take a selfie with you? But just so you know, we can't give you the loan. Right?
Well, they try to say, yo, you ain't got no credit. I ain't been here 5 years.
Right, I haven't been here 5 years.
Yeah. Which, that should be, he was talking about there's new laws on the book. That should be on the books. Like, if you haven't been here in 5 years, come on, man.
It's very similar to the loitering laws, you know, post-slavery. Oh, you don't have a job?
Yeah.
You know, we can send you to jail. Well, I didn't have a job because I was a slave my whole life. And
my man,
now I'm free.
Yeah, right. And, like, how my man Falcon gonna have bad credit anyway? Save the world, man.
First of all, how much did he get?
How
How much money did he get for We Fly High, Jim Jones balling? Because I know he had to be in that video. In my mind, he was in that video. Anyway, so, Sarah walks away. They're kind of defeated. They have that. Bucky goes to visit his friend, knocks on his friend's door, sees the shrine for his son.
Yeah.
And identifies that his son was the shaky-handed bystander that Winter Soldier killed.
Yeah. But he knew that already.
I don't think he knew. I don't think he knew that was him.
That's why he's there. The name was the number one name on the list. He was the top name.
But he had that name. I don't think he connected that name with his friend.
I do.
Until he saw that name.
I do.
I don't know. Comment down below what you think. I don't think he knew. I think...
Why else would he be there?
Because... So here's the thing. I think his flashbacks are starting to come back in his dream. So he knows the names, but he couldn't, make the full-on connection. At least that's what I think, but I don't know.
Yeah, not me.
Because I think it was like a jaw-dropping moment when he saw the picture of the son at the shrine.
I don't think so.
I don't know, guys.
I think it was just something that he realized, it really hit home for him.
Maybe, because, it's the ripple effect, right? When you do one thing, it doesn't affect just you. It affects everyone around you, and it affects those people that are around everyone around you that it affected.
I just want to know, I don't know if they're going to touch on it or not, but I would just like to know why he cares so much.
Really?
Yeah. Why does he care so much, really and truly, that he killed the innocent mindset? He was the Winter Soldier at that point, right? So he was under a spell anyway.
I think it's still a disappointment. Okay. All right. And I understand he was under a spell. Hail Hydra. But... I think we've all done stupid things for people or in connection with people that we regret.
Yeah, but then you don't go befriend someone because of that.
I think I try to right my wrongs.
Okay.
Listen, my list of things from teenage 20-year-old me would probably be long, but, you try to right those wrongs.
My thing is, how is that going to help? How is that going to help the father, in my opinion? How is that going to help the father? He's only doing it. It's self-serving.
It is self-serving.
Okay.
It is self-serving. I agree with that. But I think, too, if you are genuinely apologetic, I think people see that and appreciate that. If it's genuine. And so I'm all here. I am absolutely here for watching Falcon and Winter Soldier right their wrongs, because Falcon is trying to right his wrongs and repair his relationship with his sister and be a part of that home life. And since his sister is a widow, he also is going to be there for the boys. So I'm here for righting the wrong. Lieutenant Torres, on his, conspiracy stuff, goes to a meetup of the Flag Smashers, right? He's like, how's this thing work? And then you hear this whistle. And then these masks are handed out.
He got a camera on, too.
He's got a camera on. You see these masks. They're black masks with a handprint. And...
which I think I'm going to have to get.
Yeah. All of a sudden, you see these huge duffel bags come out. This guy comes out.
It says run on his phone.
Run, right? And... nobody knows who actually took the bags, and so there's a handoff, very much so a heist, right? Lieutenant Torres is like, I don't know what the jurisdictions are, what the international guidelines are, but you're under arrest.
Yeah.
When I tell you, you ever hear the term, I'll knock you into next year? Poor Lieutenant Torres got knocked into next year, right? And so he immediately reaches out to Falcon to give Falcon the update.
Suplexed him and stomped him out. That was crazy. And he
knocked him into next year. What's going on?
And he had on Tim's.
Right. And stomped him on the face. Lieutenant Torres, what's going on in 2022? Let us know. Which Disney cruise are you taking, Lieutenant Torres? So that happens. He's talking to Falcon. Falcon's like, okay. So Falcon's wheels are turning. His sister runs in. Sarah says, turns on the TV. You've got to see this, right? Yeah. So here comes Officer Ozzy. Because at this point, he's an Osborne in my mind. And he does this announcement, the world's been in flux. We need a hero. And out comes the shield, which Captain America entrusted with Falcon, and Falcon gave to the Smithsonian for the purpose of inspiring others. Here comes this fake Captain America.
Maybe he inspired him.
He looked crazy. His chin is trash. That's all I'm going to say. His chin reminded me of the first time I saw Ben Affleck in the Batman suit. I was distraught. Okay? So they leave it with fake Captain America.
Which is, in the comic books, he's U.S. agent, which he goes back and forth. He's generally a good guy, but he does bad things. Where Captain America always did everything for the good, for the betterment of people. Where this guy, he might have to kill you. He won't care.
He's an opportunist.
Yeah. But he's mostly good, but he can be bad, which he'll probably end up being more of a bad guy than he was in the comic books in this show, in my opinion.
Guys, this is what I will say. Thank you, MCU. I know for a long time there's that debate. Shout out to the Traveling Texans, Joseph and the crew, and there's the debate of DC over Marvel. And Marvel, the stronghold for DC has always been their series, which we are enjoying Superman and Lois. Mm-hmm. If you don't follow us on Instagram, be sure to do so. When we're not doing a real review, we do short reviews. They're called Reels reviews. We have one for Superman and Lois. But MCU hasn't been on par with their series. Here's why. They needed their own platform. Now that they have Disney Plus, very much so like the Flag Smashers, they are stepping on necks. Necks are being stepped on.
Well, people love Agent Carter and they loved
Shield?
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah. It's just that they didn't connect to the movies.
Right.
So for me, I'm like, why am I watching that if it don't connect to the movie?
It's connecting now.
Yeah.
It's connecting.
And they're using the actual movie stars. It's not like they're coming with secondary characters.
Nope.
Like, I'm standing in for the Hulk or somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
no.
It's
and
not no...
I appreciate it so much.
Janky stuff. They got a crazy budget, and they're using it.
Overall, guys, will we be checking in? Yes. Are we excited about this?
Yes.
I love it. I love it. Let us know in the comments what you think. And guys, you know what? If you enjoyed this review and you've enjoyed watching us and haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and like this video.
One other thing before we go. I did enjoy that Falcon and Winter Soldier haven't even been together yet.
I know.
And it's good.
I know.
I like that part of it too.
It reminds me of me and my bestie in DC. We haven't been together this whole panty, but when we do. No, but guys, you know what? This was great. Thanks so much for tuning in. And until the next time, guys.
Keep tripping.
Bye, guys.